Hello, friends. This evening's broadcast will not be brief, it will not be succinct, it will not be to the point, Tsumari. It will not be algorithm friendly, and it is for the fans. Hello. I have a special idea. I'm going to share with you tonight for something of a stream series. Like if you stream one game, that's kind of a series, but this is two games. I call that a project, kind of like the Momodora Marathon, except I'm not going to necessarily rush through it all in one blast just to have it done in the springtime. I'm going to let it take its time, and I don't know how it's going to go, but the seed was planted, and holy crap, it did that seed thing that it does before it gets born really quickly. Just ridiculously quickly. Let me show you what it grew into. Starting next week, I am going to be streaming The Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Ages and Seasons for the first time ever. This isn't even just for the fans. This is for my friends. This is something that's been coming for a really, really long time. I never knew when I was going to play these games. A lot of stars had to align, and all of a sudden it hit me. So, let's get into that a little bit, shall we? My notes pad. So first and foremost, I suppose, I just felt like this was the play for the channel for the moment. I want to go on a big adventure. It's really no secret that the whole experience with Portrait of Ruin had a big impact on me. I think it's partially due to, the less than ideal reality circumstances right now, but the way that I was pulled into the story and the adventure of Portrait is really what got me, and just about immediately I was like, okay, and as soon as the sense of adventure dries up here, I am going to need another hit. I didn't know how it was going to come. I've thought about a lot of things, like, maybe a more story-heavy game, I don't know, maybe like a longer game, maybe play an RPG or something, I don't know. But all at once, this hit me, because I was sitting and I was thinking, I think I might stream A Link to the Past. It would be really interesting to do a Zelda game, which I'm going to get into a minute why Zelda, but I was thinking Link to the Past, and I'm like, that'd be crazy, because I've also never played that very much. It would be interesting to dive into, and obviously that's the inspiration for Symphony of the Night, so kind of a big deal, right? That'd be interesting for us exploration fellows to dig into, but I don't know, I just like with playing with it. It's like, okay, well, what's another idea you could do? I could do the Oracle games. Huh? And something about it hit. I think maybe it's the tone. Maybe it's the visuals. I'm going to get to that. Maybe it's the fact that there's two of them, so you can really sink into it. Something about it just felt like a big, playable, like touchy, like fun, goopy, fresh, fun, and kind of lighthearted adventure. And it felt like this would be a really nice time to take the channel as we have it, minus a few people who I know would like to be here but are not able to right now, and maybe will join us at some point. I'd certainly love that. And go on a big adventure and make some memories. I suppose this gets to the next point, but I feel like Zelda on this channel is kind of like the Shamrock Shake. I've said Luigi's Mansion is the McRib. It's just like a really good meal. I cook with a lot of sauce. It only comes once every couple of years, and when it happens, it's like, put everything down. Zelda maybe is a bit more predictable, but it's definitely different than usual, right? It's very fresh. I consider Castlevania and Zelda to be kind of yin and yang, actually. I like them a similar amount, and they do kind of opposite and complementary things. And I'm kind of hitting my limit on the like dark and serious and everything. I need a Zelda hit, and I'm going to talk more about later why it's been a while since I've played much Zelda. In fact, some of my more recent Zelda-related stuff has been either scathing or concerningly unfinished. I think that's fair to say, but I'm actually on a bit of a positive right now. And there's a bit of a history with making Zelda-related content. It's a zone that I really enjoy locking into. I've done Let's Plays. I'm working on a guide right now on other channels. Well, the guide is on this channel. The guide's not dead, by the way. No announcement, but it's actually still kicking. It's actually still kicking. But Tsumari, March is green, right? March is green, at least if you're from America. It's Ireland and St. Patrick's Day and all that stuff. And the plants are coming back and the snow melts in Animal Crossing. And I have had some wild, feverishly passionate Zelda fevers in March as the snow breaks and as I just want to get outside and have an adventure and just get that going. And it's only just started to come. I'm starting to feel it. I finished a replay of Link Between Worlds last night, and it was just baller. It was just delightful. I had so much fun with it, and I was like, yep, I'm ready. It's spring, and it's time for a little bit of Zelda. In this case, it might be a big amount of Zelda. So, I suppose, skipping ahead a little bit, I promised Snufkin. Some people know his coming was actually foreshadowed in Portrait of Ruin. They have the Snufkin hat. And then in Poppin' Music, we found another character that looked like Snufkin. Snufkin fans might be feeling a little bit snubbed at the moment. But I am definitely going to work some breaks into this series as we play. Because, I mean, I've said it a million times. It's the graphics. I have almost never enjoyed a Game Boy Color game before. Like, I played Crystal when I was like an embryo or something, but I like to play Game Boy games. I like to play Game Boy games, and I like to play them without color. That's what I enjoy. The color is harsh to me. But if you've been following, that changed with Mega Man, and that's been consistently changing with Castlevania. I love Castlevania 1. And I've been wondering, could this impact things? Could I start to enjoy chiptunes? Could I start to enjoy 8-bit? The answer is yes, because when I thought about Oracles again last night, I picked it up and I am in love. I'm not just tolerating the visuals. I think this is adorable. I think everything is so cute. I mean, the sound design is really nice, but, that's never been the main problem. It's the visuals. I think they're so cute. I love these little text windows. I love the UI. I love the menus. That's the map, actually. I think, look at, there's like a little season thing. It's so cute, you guys. And the music, like any song I listen to, I'm like, oh yeah, that's good stuff. Like I am on a wavelength with this game and its flavor. And it might be jumping the gun to immediately commit to all this. But as I was saying, I am gonna kind of bring in the break game culture. It's not just Ice Climbers. I'm gonna think about break games like rhythm games if I need a break from the eye strain of not being a huge 8-bit gamer and playing these. And I'm also going to do shorter streams, definitely keep the kind of 3-hour thing going maybe most days, 3 or 4 hours, just to not burn through it, I suppose. But also, I will bring Snufkin in. That's what I'm going to say. And I feel like a quick burst of like half an hour of Melody of Moomin Valley, it might be the best way to enjoy it, actually. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to start. It's funny, I actually haven't decided which game I'm going to start with. It's down to the wire. I feel like Seasons is a bit more summery, but I've already started Seasons, so it might make sense to replay that stuff that I've already done. I haven't decided yet, but we're gonna play one of them for 2 weeks, and then I have to go to Tokyo. I have to go to Kirby Cafe. Oh no, it's like my short. I was a little bit like, is this too much bitching and moaning about a really, really nice, fortunate thing? Meh, send it. I'm visiting my friend, and I'm going to Kirby Cafe because I'm so lucky. And then the next weekend is Dream Barbecue. I'm still doing Dream Barbecue. That's not going to change. So that's a break, and there will be more breaks because, I mean, I guess I'm circling around this point. If I don't have fun, I will drop this, If it was just a quick moment, and this isn't as fun to stare at for hours on end as Castlevania is, or I feel like, you know what, I don't want to waste all of my Oracle memories in one go. I'm certainly sensitive to that, having got to near the bottom of the barrel of the Egavanias. I was consciously aware of that with Portrait, but at the moment, I really just want to give this a go, and I feel like it's going to be fun with the kinds of folks that hang out and chat, and, as a break from my usual, like, how would you summarize the winter? You got, like, Cave Story and Celeste, like, kind of emo indie games, very kind of deep, hardcore, there was maybe a Nintendo break. I did Kirby that one time, but then Castlevania, and in the fall was all indie games again and Metroidvanias. It's a lot of the same stuff, but this is it's similar, and yet a decent little step away, I think, which is maybe I've said everything in that point. I suppose I've hit another point in passing, which is I want to refresh the content a little bit. Zelda is different, right? Zelda's pretty damn different. But at the same time, it's really returning to my roots in a couple ways. That's the next section of this talk, is I kind of started here. Before there was Melovania, there was Zelda. So, beneath my love for Metroidvanias was a love for all kinds of games with item progression in them. And the big, breakout game, I might have even called it my favorite game, of the year or something like that when I played Hollow Knight before I'd really processed things, was my first time playing Link's Awakening. It's insane to say that this is a 5-year anniversary video because my bones are a lot weaker than they were 5 years ago, probably, in that case. But, I had a religious experience playing that. That was one of the earlier days in, the birth of my big gaming era that we're living in now. And, it settled in to just be one of those games that I like a lot, that I replay very often. But back in the day, it was special. It was magical. I genuinely think, the highs of playing through that game, I don't know if they changed my taste, but they made me realize what I liked. And I wouldn't have been as insane about Hollow Knight if it weren't for that game. But aside from just that, it was the theme of the year, basically. It was the theme of the top 10 video and everything. I needed a break. I needed to get away from Nintendo, and I needed to find some new things that I was into. Outside of indie games, it was just all Nintendo, everything. My YouTube, most of my friends are big Nintendo people, and I hated it because anytime something changed with Nintendo, which they're not the best company, they're not the worst company, but they're not the best. It just felt like everything was changing. All of gaming was so impacted by this one super corporation. But now I have numerous mid-sized corporations that make the things that I like. I spent the whole winter with, I keep saying this trio to death, but Miku, Mega Man, Castlevania, they have really either popped out as new favorite things or stepped up after a long time being kind of like a casual interest. They are holding me down. I mean, I think I might have played more of them than all Nintendo series combined this winter. So I feel like this is a nice way to sort of have a homecoming back to some of the series that I used to be really passionate about before I was pissed at Nintendo. And Zelda specifically, I mean, I got into Zelda during the Tears of the Kingdom reveal in 2019. That pushed me to play my copy of Breath of the Wild that I was moderately interested in but wasn't really clicking with when I bought my Switch in 2018. I started a Zelda journey. So in the time that it took for them to just have that crazy, kind of horrible hype cycle, I played the whole series. I caught up with it, kind of like a character with superpowers, there and then back again. Okay, Nintendo, I'm ready. From zero to being completely familiar with the series. Okay, I studied, I read all the books. Okay, I'm ready for this reveal. And I say this with love. They just decimated me. They decimated so many fans' hearts, especially mine. I was not just a fan of the old style of games, I was a new fan. I was a hopeful fan. I wasn't a fan that got to live my whole life with the old style of games. I was like, okay, I learned what Zelda is. Oh, okay, never mind, it's not that anymore. Never mind, it's not that anymore. And Echoes of Wisdom was salt in the wound, and it was a salty salt. I have said some cruel things about that game in terms of its overall decision-making and stuff, because just, oh my goodness, Zelda games have become like this magnificently beautiful park you can walk through once. The first time you walk through, it's this magnificent, Ghibli-esque, crazy Alice in Wonderland affair. The trees are moving, the animals have cute faces, everything is just crazy, you're on drugs. And then the second time you play, it's just branches. There aren't even leaves anymore. It's just dry and withered. When these games are all about novelty, they lose all of their replay value, they lose all of their staying power. And I say that having processed these blows and actually come to like Tears of the Kingdom and Echoes quite a lot for what they are. In fact, since last time I opened my mouth about these games, I formed a very nice connection with Echoes of Wisdom. It might struggle in the direct comparison with these games, but I think at its core, there's just some really nice stuff that makes me happy and is pretty unique to Zelda, even though it is not the gameplay. It's not the gameplay, though I do like the gameplay in its own way. All of that to say, it's been a tough couple years, and having this pop out as a potential really precious memory was really exciting. So I'm kind of leaping at it with all of my heart right now. I think that I need a refresh with the channel. I love doing content creation, but I do not know if I have it in me to do mainly Metroidvanias continuing on. I don't exactly know what I would do otherwise. I don't know if I need to broaden my horizons with the channel or just hit Metroidvanias with more passion in a different angle. Truly, I don't know. And while I'm debating that, I think I need to sort of go back to my roots, kind of get a different coat of paint and a different breath of fresh air, a different flavor of air, a different temperature, get some warm air blowing through this weird emo, musty, hot topic kind of vibe I've created, which I love. And just do that kind of refreshing business, some spring cleaning maybe, and have this bridge through what might be a interesting period. I feel like I'm so close to seeing the next level of the channel, but I'm not there yet. And seeing a big project like this that could span a while was pretty exciting, but at this point I'm repeating myself. So I'm gonna hit it pretty hard while the cherry blossoms are blooming, while the flowers are popping out of the ground, and the grass is revealing itself once more to be green. And maybe play through one of these games March and April, then take a break and do the other one, or take numerous breaks, or get tired of them in 3 weeks, I don't know. But let's just, plant it and see what grows. And I hope you're excited. It's different, but I hope you can feel the passion. And I think it isn't that crazy of a deviation from what we usually do. So let's go on a big vacation to wherever the fuck these games take place over in Capcom land. Holy crap! This isn't in the script. It's Capcom! Oh my god! I used to be such a Nintendo freak that when I saw they were by Capcom, I'm like, oh, it's Capcom? It doesn't even have Alnuma's signature sauce in it. Like, Capcom? Ugh, gross. What do they make? Mega Man? What do they make? Mega Man? What do they make? Devil May Cry? I'm like a Capcom fangirl now. That's crazy! That's crazy! I didn't even realize that, but I can add that to the list. I get to appraise this as a Capcom game. In the same way that the flagship Kirby games are. Oh, Sega's involved too, so Miku could be here. We'll see if she shows up. I think this guy's Joe Satriani. I used to say that. I don't think there's any reason that anybody at Sega, Nintendo, or Capcom would know Joe Satriani, but he looks like him. Anyhow, that's the vibe. So, thank you especially much if you tuned in live. I don't know if I'll be able to come to the live. I have to go to work in the morning, but I thought that would be fun. I'll read your comments later. So, see you!